Hey there, everyone. Thanks for sending in your comments and thoughts for this particular part of the play. Let's jump right into it. So, first of all, in terms of hallucinations versus ghosts, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that are saying hallucination, and only 2 people that are saying ghosts of the people that have submitted answers to me so far, right? So, looks like that's a pretty decisive win for the hallucination part of it. Let's take a look at some of those answers. This person says, it's just a hallucination. I don't personally believe in the existence of ghosts or such, and I'm only presenting this answer as a reflection of some common beliefs in the play. Yep. So that's good. Next one. The ghost is Macbeth's personal demon. The death of Banquo was a cowardly betrayal and was not honorable. In war, both parties know the risk because they are enemies. I assume that's why the other man he has killed at war have not haunted him. That's actually a very good point. But Banquo was his friend. Also, it's his personal demon because it's different from the witches because they spoke to both Macbeth and Banquo. So, very good answer there as well. I like that this person is pointing out that, yes, Macbeth has killed tons of people before he ever killed Duncan, right? But the killing that he did before, right, was in the context of war, right? So he's a soldier. He's supposed to fight that guy from the beginning, MacDonald, right? Or the King of Norway, right? So he's supposed to fight those guys, right? Whereas Banquo was his friend, and of course Duncan was his king, right? So that's an important difference there. Next person says, it's a hallucination. It's quite impossible for someone to witness what others cannot, regardless of who they are or the position they are holding. He is only scared and feels guilty for his actions, so he now thinks that he is being punished. Right? The next person said, I think Macbeth could possibly feel guilty and perhaps be hallucinating. So, I think the modern audience does lean towards the hallucination idea, right? It's probably because, nowadays you don't really know too many people that genuinely believe in ghosts, right? It's sort of considered to be a little silly to believe in ghosts. But it is important to know that Shakespeare's audience at the time was not much less like that, right? Shakespeare's audience at the time would be much more willing to believe in something like a ghost. So let's read more. I think the imagination which Macbeth was seeing was a real ghost. Oh, wait, this person belongs in Real Ghost. Okay, let's move that down. Because he never had hallucination of seeing the image of Banquo before he was killed, so it cannot be hallucination, but in reality he saw the ghost of Banquo coming to sit at his place. He saw him and started to converse with the ghost, which is a sign that God was real and he was finding no place to sit. Page 143, line 56, Macbeth might have a weak mind to hallucinate like he did when he saw the daggers in the air, but after Banquo was killed, he saw the ghost and the ghost exited again on line 85. Okay, so this is the other side of the reasoning, right? Which is that it's not just in his head, it's either sent by God or sent by Banquo's will himself to haunt him, right? So he is genuinely, in this case, being punished by the world, right? And depending on which one of these you go with, right, whether it be hallucination or actual ghost, sort of affects the way you read the play, right? Because if you think it's a hallucination, then the main thing about the play is that it's his guilt, right? Whereas if you think it's a ghost, then the main thing that's happening here is, well, God himself, or perhaps some other force like that, is punishing Macbeth for what he's done. So the world is responding to Macbeth, right? Even though at this point in the play, remember, he has gotten away with murder. Let's see, 2 more. Yes, Banquo's is a ghost spirit come back to haunt Macbeth for murdering him. He also came back to protect his son and teach Macbeth a lesson he never had from wrongdoing. No crime should go unpunished. Okay, so same idea there. The ghost came back, and it's a genuine ghost. And this person says, I believe the ghost, if you kill someone innocent, his spirit is always coming back and you can't sleep well. It is moral what you feel in this situation. It is not truth, just imagination. Oh, wait, so maybe this person belongs in hallucination. So, again, people go back and forth on this. Shakespeare, at the time, though, we can say, is sort of playing both sides, right? So, he's making it so that, you know, the Catholic half of the audience, or the ghost-believing half of the audience, can see what they want to see, and those who think it's a hallucination, the Protestant side of the audience, they can see what they want to see as well. So, good answer so far. Let's move on to Lady Macbeth. So, I've just picked 3 answers here, so we can go through some of the main points about Lady Macbeth. So, this person writes, Lady Macbeth feels embarrassed and ashamed and not happy with her husband Macbeth. His behavior was not right and made him look like he had a mental breakdown in front of his guests at the dinner feast, right? That's certainly the basics of it, right? Lady Macbeth is sort of starting to fall apart here, right? And she's not doing or I should say Macbeth is starting to fall apart, and, you know, Lady Macbeth certainly begins to feel embarrassed, but let's see. The next person wrote, Lady Macbeth has been the one from the start pulling the strings and has generally kept good control of Macbeth. At this moment, she feels helpless while losing control of her husband. She realized that no one is going to support Macbeth after this. Seeing him losing his mind would be a very direct blow to her conscience, seeing that although she did not kill anyone herself, her husband's madness is caused directly by her manipulation of him, which makes her feel guilty. Oh, this is good. This is very good. This might actually be a good thesis for an essay statement, for an essay that you write at the end of the course in 3 weeks, right? Because here we see that Lady Macbeth is feeling guilty not just for killing Duncan, but also driving her husband insane, right? So if you think about responsibility for what's going on with Macbeth, right, the fact that her husband is acting like this, it's a direct consequence of all of that stuff she said to him earlier on. And this person writes, Lady Macbeth most likely feels very stressed and worried that Macbeth can't seem to pull it together. Macbeth does not feel like a reliable partner by excluding her from his plans. His instability might have her thinking he will tell everyone about his secret murders, as well as Lady Macbeth's contribution to it. So the stress is important, and the worry is important too, and the guilt certainly is as well, right? And I want you guys to remember this part as we continue to go forward in the play, because we're not going to see Lady Macbeth for a little while, right? I think we don't see her again until Act 5. And when we see her again, you're going to see that there's a big change in Lady Macbeth. So, for now, though, let me address a couple of things. So first of all, for tomorrow, what we're really going to be focused on is Act 4, especially Act 4, Scene 1, right? So make sure you have read to, at the very least, page 187, right? Let me put that on, yeah. So tomorrow, read to page 187, right? So do that, and make sure you have that read, and there'll be another lecture in the morning, just like we've been doing for the last 2 days. So thanks for everyone who's sending me material. Like I said this morning, if you are not able to get comments to me by 7 o'clock, right, that's okay. I'll still take them and I'll still give you credit, right? But I do want you to try to get it to me before 7 so that I can include what you're saying in these discussions. Now, 2 people had questions for me regarding other things unrelated to Macbeth, so let me just quickly answer them now. First of all, if there's a teacher other than me, right, from Emory that you haven't been able to get in touch with, your physics teacher, your math teacher, or anything like that, then you should contact the school, give them a call, and tell them your situation. All of the teachers are supposed to be doing some kind of online teaching. I don't know if what they're doing, right? I haven't seen any of them since before March break, but all of the teachers are supposed to be doing something. What that is, I don't know, but this is what I'm doing, right? So I honestly just don't know what math teachers and everything are doing. So the thing you'll want to do is give the school the call, right? The school's number is 416-395-3225, right? So give the school a call and say, hey, I'm taking this course, and how do I get in touch with that teacher, right? And they should hopefully help you out. So that's one. The other thing I wanted to just mention to you guys as an aside is I know a lot of the students we have at Emory have experience working as nurses in their home countries, right? And right now you're just like getting your qualification to do the same thing here. So there was an interesting announcement from Doug Ford today about recruiting nurses that are internationally trained, right? And he opened this website, right? This workforce matching portal, right? About matching people with training to hospitals that desperately need people, right? So if you have that kind of experience, right, from your home countries, this might be a good opportunity to step up, right? So I just wanted to send that link out in case there's any of you students out there who were nurses back in your home country, and over here you have to go to learn the language and everything like that. Maybe there's an opportunity there for you guys, right? So I'm going to just leave the link to this in the email and on the website so that if this is something you can help with, right, give it a shot, right? If not, then, well, let's all just try to stay safe together. Okay, guys, so I will see you in the morning, and I hope you're all doing well.